Alright, since we've seen basically all the units, unless they throw in another one in secret, I'll probably lose my mind. I'm gonna go ahead and rank my tier list for update 4. Okay, so before we get started, like always, some of these units are situational and it's just my opinion, so don't get too heated and leave your opinions in the comments below. But let's get started with your boy Madara. Honestly, Madara fell off so hard, it's actually crazy. Like, who cares about this man no more? People just want to get Madara since he has a cool model and since he has that nostalgic effect since he was here day 1. But honestly, he's fell off harder than Lil Pump. Honestly, this is just bad right here. I'll put him at C. Not too bad. I did miss a letter, so I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I missed the letter right there, but yeah, I'll put him at B, my bad. I'll put him at B. Alright, not too bad, but, you know, definitely fell off by a lot. Lelouch, honestly, still godly. I still need him. I spent, like, honestly, over, like, 100k gems at this point, and I've not got him once. But he does great damage, summons units that fight for him, and they have HP as well, so he could get hit. Like I said, mind control. But I'm gonna go through the ones that we don't know, fairly quickly, since, I've already done other tier lists for them. So, Shanks, great stun, but not the best damage. Still though, very good for leaderboards. And support, Katakuri, great support, not the best damage, but good AoE, and it has that slow and stun. Gon, honestly, Gon might be meta. I don't know the full like analysis damage of it, but if it does get on a map with all the mobs and you could hit it straight bang in the middle, it'll do a ton of damage. Right, 50k per unit and that massive full AoE, definitely really good. Edo, honestly, I don't really like Edo. Akaza's right there, decent. He's got that buff every 3rd attack, but honestly, he's really hard to get, so just get every other thing besides the raid ones. The raid ones are kind of dog right now. Broly, still really good, better than Eto in my opinion since he has that full AoE. Rengoku, better than Akaza, not better than Eto, but definitely up there. He's got that burn and has that damage and that massive AoE as well, so props to Rengoku. But I'll leave the legendaries here in a bit, or I'll bring it back up in a bit since right now I'm doing the mythics. So yeah, let me quickly bring these guys down. So who's next? Armin. Of course, if you already don't have Armin, he's meta 24/7. If you don't have him, you're missing out. Like I've said before, 1 million damage, 0.0001 SPA, infinite range. The downside is that, you know, his model's not great, but still very, very good. We got Okiyora. Okiyora is definitely meta in terms of damage. He's got that like into the 20ks, massive AoE, and decently low SPA. Definitely like Arima, but I still think Arima's better since he has that cone AoE. I'm not sure though. It could be used in situations where the map isn't in a straight line, so it might be better than Arima. But speaking of Arima, I'll just put him in front since I don't know, man. Arima's just, yeah, it's just, you know, you can't disrespect my boy. He's been there since the start, and also I just do think his AoE does make up for the fact that he doesn't have as high of a damage as Okiyora. Now for Miriam's definitely meta up here. He's got that air damage, so really broken, and he's a hybrid too, so you can place him on the ground or on the hills. Really nice. If you already don't have him, go ahead and get him. Probably one of the best air unit and ground dealers, if not just a great alternative for Okiyora. Now we have Netero. So Netero, he's an old man, but not like an old man. He does a ton of damage. Alright, Netero is definitely in a meta DPS unit. Although you can only place 3, he's into the 40,000s. Plus he has a giant circle AoE. And even though the SPA is around 9 seconds, the damage does really make up for it. But still though, there's one unit that overpasses him and overpasses all these damage units, which is your boy Stark. Alright, Stark is an absolute menace. Alright, he's crazy with it. He's got that line. If the line wasn't so fat and long and thick and juicy, then it wouldn't be as good. But that's what Stark is, bro. He just keeps shooting and is absolutely crazy with his DPS. It's into the 40,000s at this point. So if you combine that with the AoE, it's just a match made in heaven for overall damage. Now for Pito, honestly, she's probably gonna be an S. I don't really see her being meta unless you want to use him for like Demon Slayer maps or maps where you need bleeding. But definitely good unit, great damage, great SPA. The circle is a little smaller, but she does have crit and bleed, so great for healing units, great for bosses. So if you want to use it for there, go ahead. Now we have Eisen. Eisen's an S, not really great, you know, like SPA damage and place ability, although his ability, like overall ability of what he can do, is actually really good. He could actually place a clone at the base and stop whatever's coming through, so that's really nice, kind of like the Love Train from ASTD, like I said before. So definitely S tier, but most likely used towards leaderboards and infinite runs. Now we have Juzo. Juzo's still S. I do believe he's a little lower than Pito just because because you have crit on Pito at least, so he does a lot more damage. So she could probably do more damage than Juzo with the bleed and the crit. But the AoE might make up for Juzo. So you could either interchange these guys. I don't want to get into it, but I'll just leave it right there. Now for Kainu, I'll put a Kainu just above Eisen, because at this point a Kainu is kind of like overused, overrated, and just underwhelming at this point of the game, just because he does cost quite a bit and his SPA is a little high for air damage unit. Still a good alternative for like Okiyora and Miriam, but definitely not the best. The damage is still there though, but you know, we just have other units that have outshined him at this point. Speaking of being outshined, we have Uryu. Definitely a high S. I don't think it's in the meta, but if you put it in terms of air, it's definitely meta for air, so you could put it right here, or high S, but I just put it in S to make it look more even. I know that's not a great point to bring out, but still though, don't underestimate Uryu. That's what I did at the start, but now that I know that he has great damage, it makes up for his AoE, and his SPA is really low as well, and you can play 6 of them, so that's nice. For All Might, honestly, right behind Akaza. Decent damage, giant AoE, and has that knockback. Not as good as Akaza in my opinion if you're going in terms of damage, but it does have that knockback, so you can put it up here somewhere. But this is just generality, so I'll just put him right behind him. And then we have Kilowatt. I'll put Kilowatt above Pito just because he has that nice damage and low SPA. Plus, he has a 50% chance to stun, I believe, so that's really nice. So you could use this as a utility or damage, or maybe both. So that's still a great unit to have on your team, although these guys are still better in my opinion, but definitely still good. Now we have Kisuke. Kisuke is definitely the second best meta in my opinion. Not only does he have great damage, he has decently sized AoE, circle AoE by the way, and you know, he has that ability that gives more range and less SPA, so that buff is going to be used for quite a bit, and I don't think he'll be going away for the next 2 to 3 updates. Definitely really good. Now for Kite. All right, I did a showcase on him like a couple hours ago, so Kite, I could put Kite in meta, but honestly at this point I think he's high S, or the middle of S, because there's definitely more units that out damage him, but the things that limit him is that he's only on ground. His attacks dual rotate, so it might rotate to a bad weapon that you don't like, or it's not usable in that situation, and it's just straight up RNG with the blessing. So if you get a bad blessing, then you might not want to use them. For Whitebeard, right behind All Might, you know, full AoE, but you know, the ability and the damage is not there. The ability is manual, but it takes time for the knockback to actually get there. Levi, I'll put Levi right behind Whitebeard just because in general he won't be as useful in terms of killing large areas of units and knocking them back, but Levi does have that boss killing potential since he has crit and bleed at the same time, and you can play 6 of these guys, so that's really nice. Now we have Tadara. Honestly, I don't even know if anybody cares about Tadara. I'll just put him down here with Madara, since like I said, they both have Tadara in their names and they both fell off, so kind of bad for them. Eren is honestly not that great. He is sometimes good for infinite if you're going for that late run, but he is very expensive, so I'll put him right behind these guys. Now we have Naruto. Nobody cares about them, alongside with these useless secrets that nobody really cares as well, and Diavolo. You know, these two, who cares about them? But we also have these other leaderboard units, which I'll put them in B just because they do have consistent damage, and they're nice, and they're limited, and they're very unique. So this is my overall mythic tier list. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the legendary part, which I'll put Bulma at the start since she is needed every time. You know, she's got that money. I'll put Dio up. I'll put Urban up here just because he summons and that buff. I'll put Dio next. I'll put Rukia next because Rukia stuns with ice and hits air, and Dio, you know, time stops the ground and air as well. I'll put Hisoka up next just because he does slow down, kind of like an off-brand Katakuri. Oh, I forgot Rengoku. No, Rengoku's I'll just put him above this man right here since he is better. And then coming back down, I'll put Giorno next since because he's like a alternative to Dio. And then we have your boy Pain because he got that pushback, Walmart version All Might. And we have Blackbeard for the lower defense. And although this is not a legendary, we have Sakura just because she can damage or increase the damage of your unit. So that's my overall take of generality and how they're used and how useful they are and what I recommend on getting first. But now let's move on to the categories, which is what they're listed as. So alright, so this is my list right here for the categories. Meta, of course, we got Armin. Boss killers, we got Lelouch, Levi, Pito, and Eren. For support, I put Kisuke, Shanks, Katakuri, All Might, and then Whitebeard. For meta DPS, we have Stark, Netero, Arima, Okiyora, Gon, Kilowatt, Kite, Juzo, Eto, and then Eisen. For air killers, we have Uryu, Miriam, and Kainu. For the ones that are still decent, but not that doesn't really fit in any of these categories that well, is Broly, Rengoku, Akaza, Tadara, Blue Devil, and Gohan. And then the ones that nobody really cares about is Diavolo, Rengoku, Normal, Naruto, and Madara. For the useless secrets, those right there, and non-mythics, of course, they're right there. So that's my tier list. Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below of what you guys think. And yeah, I guess that's it.